Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another round with Jay and Sean. I'm your co host, Jay. Sean is not with us today, but again, I have another special guest for us today. It's none other than the ex church F boy, LBB91. How are you?
Yo, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good today.
That's
And
all
of
to hear.
course, I'm glad you're here with me. Keep it down. I need that male perspective at all times. So they just won't just be out here thinking I'm just mannish alone.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
So we're back today with another episode of Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop Edition. We're on part two. And I thought it might get better.
Mm,
It's only getting worse.
mm,
Only getting worse. I don't even know, man.
mm.
Who is the least of us this week?
It was watching episode. I think it was just. It was different from episode one because we did episode one together.
Hmm.
I think on this episode it was more of a case of some of the issues that they were facing.
Yeah,
And I love the ball work that they did. I think that was
I
really
did.
really impressive.
Yeah, I like that too. I actually thought that was a really good game, and I like Dr. Ish saying that in a real form of the game that they will actually be carrying weighted balls around,
Mm.
so you really feel the pressure. But having them all day in a plastic suit
Yeah, on the heat.
on a hot day, uh, and then you come in fully clothed when you coming down there. So
Mm.
yeah, it served its purpose. I thought it was a good game and a good strategy to really see what your partner
It's
is
going through.
going through.
I'm
Yeah,
with you on that.
I thought it was
Mm,
interesting.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but we started off the episode again with Treasure still in her drunken state. And here's the funny thing though. The sad truth is, you know, in your drinking days, I'm
Yeah.
kind of past mines now, but in the drinking days, the way to get over being hung over was to drink more.
Mm.
So surprisingly, her being waking up to more alcohol is not really a shocker, but the amount she consumes in the time frame that she consumes it is what the issue is with her. And it's like barely early in the morning, you're already ranting to Sir Brock. And
And
there's
crying.
nothing clear. Yes,
Yeah.
ranting and crying the whole time. And it's just like we start off with one good sentence, and from there it's just snowballs
Cheers.
into what? What?
She's lacking the ability to be able to communicate effectively what she's actually feeling. Um, and I think that's something I've been kind of deliberating on last few weeks, which is if you lack the language to be able to express how you feel, you act it out because
Mhm.
you don't have the language. So you can only, it's almost like playing pictogram. You know what I mean? Like you can't talk, so you act. And the drinking is a sign of that. The drinking, the crying, is a sign of the fact that she's unable to find the language to express exactly how she feels. And I mean, her and Molly situation, it's not really helping. You know what I mean? It's not helping her.
It's not it's a weird situation too because he hides behind her.
Mm,
He hides behind the drinking, he hides behind her crying, her acting, all of her antics. He's keeping his own secrets.
mm,
And and of course the show is pushing it off on her behavior.
of course.
Even when he sits with Dr. Ish, there's a little thing he talks about having some legal issues that happened like in 2014.
Mm,
But Dr. Ish even notices that he's
hiding.
withholding
Yeah.
some information, and he's highlighting all of Treasure's flaws to keep his covered.
Mm,
So that's an interesting thing. I wonder how much is going to come out, if he's going to come out at all about any of his real struggles.
I
But
doubt
I've
it.
noticed, huh?
I said I doubt he'll volunteer that information.
He's fighting.
Mm.
He's fighting, so it's not going to be a volunteer situation
No.
or whatnot. But I did notice one thing, and it came up with Treasure as well later on when he was sitting with Dr. Ish. He says that something towards the line of her daddy
Yes, that the only person she respects is her dad.
is her daddy. Yeah. So there's this thing because she kind of says it herself that you want to be my dad, like
Mm.
you want me to come at you like my dad or whatever and stuff like that. And so it's and I get where she keeps coming from when she says that he's controlling.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, he has
But
to be, obviously, because he's not playing with one woman, is he? He does what he wants.
yeah. So he
Yeah.
got to control the situation.
Mm-hmm.
They
Else
can't.
it's gonna become a fire hydrant. It's gonna go all over the
Hmm.
place.
Yeah. So yeah, we have that situation with them. So since we're on them, let's just talk about their particular balls that they chose.
Mm. 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 Mm.
There wasn't much. He was complaining about her rambling and crying and that, but his biggest highlighted ball for her was drinking. He wrote it
Yes.
in himself, and he highlighted it. He stopped and made sure everybody knows that that is his biggest problem with her, and rightfully so.
Mm.
It's it's a big problem for a person to have that that just to be drinking to the
All the
point
time.
where it's just more than you're drinking anything else.
Yeah.
You know, even when she started throwing up, she wanted to go back
To drinking again.
to drinking again.
Hmm.
They had to tell her, like, child, put some water in your body.
Yo, that's a deep problem, you know.
That's really is. And that, I laugh right now, but it's not funny. It's really not
Mm.
funny at all. When a person has that. And it's sad on two reasons, because I've known people that have drunk so much that finally when they stopped, their body stopped because their
Mm.
body had just got used to
Used to that.
adapted to that lifestyle, excuse me.
That's right.
And then on the other hand, it's toxin. You're putting a
Mm.
toxin into your body and you're never flushing the toxin out.
Out.
So you're basically burning your organs with this alcohol that you're putting in it. Because if you ever seen pictures of your liver or other organs that are affected by it, it's terrible, like very ugly sight to see. It's the
Yeah.
same way if you ever see them when a person smokes, their lungs, how black they get.
Mm.
You get what is that? You can create gallstones. I think it's gallstones, but those are hard to get out your body, and they when you do get them out, they're not the
Yeah.
funnest way. Yeah, they're
No.
from everybody I've known that had them. You just don't even
Yeah.
want to pee. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
The pain is real.
right. You're
Mm.
afraid to go to the bathroom, and so it's just
Yeah.
like, why would you want to do that to yourself? Build up these crystals in your body that are basically killing you from the inside. So now
Mm.
that you're not only dying from what is making you drink, now you're dying from the drink. So you gotta be
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah. And the Bible says, "Be filled with the Spirit, not with wine." The intoxication that she's taking in is a cover for the emotional pain and stress she's in.
Mhm.
In some regard, it's almost like cutting yourself, but she's just doing it with drinking. You know what I mean? So because we don't see the physical lacerations on the skin, you know. It may look like it's not as bad as taking a knife and cutting your skin, but the amount of drinking that she's doing is so heavy, and then you even become incoherent as you're doing this thing. So yeah, you're not even helping yourself to even be able to function effectively. I'm sure she doesn't even know who she is when she's sober, because you're drunk a lot of the time. You know what I mean? um uh, and like I said, it screams deeper issues.
Mhm.
It screams deeper issues, and they go even beyond her relationship with Molly. I think if that's the way you learn how to cope with the issues you have, this is not just a Molly situation. This situation goes beyond him, and the drinking is something that you use as a coping mechanism, and that in itself needs to be addressed aside the relationship and what you want from Molly, because it is not healthy to cope this way.
Yeah, I think we said it last week that
Mm,
it's something deeper than him. And being that they both had mentioned her daddy,
yeah,
it could stem from
the dad
some type of
situation.
dad situation or whatnot. And interestingly enough, her boss was his fame, the
Yeah,
money, and thinking he's her daddy.
yeah,
So, there she it's it's a toxic situation with the two or whatnot.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do I do appreciate her retort in the rap though. She drinks, she
yeah.
drinks, she cries, and she
Yeah,
don't know
I don't know
why.
why. It was a bar still. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was wavy. It was catchy. I can't
It
lie to
really
you.
was catchy. I was like, okay, girl.
Need an artist to pick that up right away.
Right.
Yeah, it was
The
catchy.
thing is though, is just like even what is my girl? What is the divorce court? I don't know why her name escaped me
Oh,
right now.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. Even she has to tell her like, I want to have a actual sit down with you, but I gotta wait till the morning
Mm,
because you have to be completely sober because everybody's watching. Every time you try to talk to her, you can't because the tears start, the rambling starts, and the mumbling, and you don't know where to start to
yeah.
fix the problem because it's just all over the place. It's never consistent on it. And so, yeah, that I think me personally, I think that she needs to be taken out of this situation as long as there's alcohol in the house. I could have swore back on one
We
episode they kind of
did.
removed the episode
They
that
did.
the alcohol is stuff for the person or whatnot. And I think they need to do this again.
Yeah, they did. They did it last season. They did the exact same thing. Can't remember what his name was. It Corrupt? Is it
Yeah,
Corrupt?
it was
Corrupt
corrupt.
had a drinking
Exactly.
problem, mad drinking problem. In he had to remove the alcohol from the house. And in the end, they had to remove him.
Hmm.
But yeah, because that was on my mind actually as well. I was thinking to myself, why haven't they removed the alcohol from the house? Why haven't they removed her? You know, what I mean, this drinking is serious. Like, this is not
Yeah,
because she's here for the first 2 days. She's got a drinking problem.
definitely.
You know, but yeah, no, in regards to her balls that she threw at Molly as well, the fame and the dad trying to be my dad, um, I think the fame again is probably not the root, but it's what she sees as an issue because he can't give her what she wants, which is, I'm guessing, him fully because of the fame, right? That allows him to have, I guess, the access and the freedom to move and do whatever he's doing, going from city to city. But the fame isn't actually the actual issue. The issue is that he's just not going to be fully committed to you and you alone. But the fame looks like it's the issue. It's not. That just gives him the access to do what he's doing. He's
Hmm.
not. He's just not. He just hasn't given himself all to her, and he's unwilling to because he's got commitment issues.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what we kind of found out in the first episode. He's got commitment issues. So until that is fixed, he actually isn't a good partner for you, Treasure. If you're thinking about wanting him one to one, unless you're willing to share him and you're not going to complain about it, you're not going to moan about it, then he's not actually the right kind of partner for you. And actually, he's now triggering more issues within you. And it's not an excuse for your baby, but it's more of a case of it actually is not helping you,
Right.
so you're now fighting for something that actually is more toxic. It's a further add-on to the toxins that you put in your body. So now one's a physical toxin and this one's a second toxin, which is emotional. So you're being stabbed physically and emotionally, like, you know what I'm saying? So no wonder why when you're drinking you're not making any sense and why you're crying, because you're being hit twice. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I think we saw her on the couch trying to hug him and trying to make all close and everything like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even if I was Molly, I'd have told you to get off me too. Because it's like you
Hmm.
just be doing this random kind of like wanting this attention and love and care, but it's like it's time and season, and the drinking is an issue for him. So that's not an excuse for his behavior, but he's a commitment phobe.
Yeah.
It's a commitment phobe.
Yeah. And it's just making it worse on her. I mean,
Yeah.
you can kind of see the wheels turning in her head where she's trying to rationalize what she's actually dealing with
Yeah.
Molly. Because even like the first episode when she managed to say that she's a submissive, and you get the few little bars that you get from her because it's hard to really see where she's coming from, but she's trying to stand ground that she wants him to herself, but she's trying to say I'm open
Yeah.
to the relationship. And it's just like you're conflicted within you, and then you're making this alcohol trying to cope with it, and it's making you more conflicted
Yeah.
because you have nothing to stand on. And so and it's just making you feel like how the room feels, very wavy when you're drunk, and you just feel like you just want to throw up. And that's what she do, throws up everything she's feeling on the inside, and it just comes all out in a rambling mess. I'm hoping that though that they go ahead and do her like they did Corrupt, and just remove her. If they can't remove the alcohol, remove her to somewhere where she can get some real help, because she needs it.
She needs it. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next least confrontational couple right now. That's gonna be Nori and Neri. You know, they have issues that are just not gonna be fixed through this show right now. I'm so sorry. Like it's embedded into Nori. He's gonna be him, and you've let him get away with being him.
Yeah.
And with that, and I'll give him this. He's trying to show a little bit of help and support. And, you know, we'll go to the balls or whatnot, because you mentioned I said last time that I don't think he's helping with the kids as far as taking them to the games and all that stuff. And he should be.
And he's
like, he was like, he should be. And because the only reason I say that, because a mom usually won't say, I need help with the boys.
Unless.
If you're doing those things.
Yeah.
You know, because then it's just like, okay, I get them dressed, I get them to school. This is what we do or whatnot. But when I got to take them to their game practices, I got to take them to physicals, I got to do all of the extras curricular stuff. And you're the dad, and Nori, I believe, plays basketball from his spare time. So you're into sports. You need to be there too. And you don't need to just be there to help her. You need to be there for your boys, really. Because they need that support from you. They want it. They're growing up to impress you. That's what boys do. They try to impress their fathers. Girls try to impress their mothers. Boys try to impress their fathers. So they need you to even see them to be impressed.
Yeah.
So you need to do it more for your boys, if anything. So we'll just talk about the balls that she brought up and stuff. And hers was basically not helping with the kids. And she mentioned not taking them to basketball practice, hanging out with her friends. Oh, allowing her to hang out with her friends, and appreciating her making him dinner. I like how she hit the pause on it.
Yeah.
Cute.
she be getting in with that one. I was like, oh
yeah. Everybody's like, okay. Ooh, make the him.
Make him. I was like, sis. But she held it down with that one. I respect.
Yeah, I like her little sister humor. She's cute.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you did say it last week about, you know, him looking after the kids, and you know, it's obviously shown up this week as well now. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's no excuse. I know the reason. I'm sure there's a reason in terms of maybe his father was emotionally distant, or maybe he didn't have a father figure there, whatever. But there's no excuse. So now you are in a situation where you have to change that. You know, you have to be able to change the patterns that you saw from your generation and past. And also as well, you know, listen, I'm all for old school, but old school does not mean you don't get involved with your kids. That's not old school. You know what I mean? Like, you not getting involved with your sons is not old school. It's absent. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think we have to, you know, with men, I think sometimes you have to call it out direct. You know what I mean? I think sometimes you have to shock men, because what can happen is we can make it very palatable and very easy and be like, you know what, you know, I need some help. I think we need Dr. Ish to get in there and say, listen, you're being an absentee father. What you think you're doing by paying the rent, everything like that, blah, blah, blah. will mean nothing if your children grow up and they don't have much of a relationship with you. I'm not saying they won't love you. I'm not saying they won't care for you. I'm not saying they won't appreciate you, but they will always have this tiny bit of resentment, emotional detachment, all right, from you, and a level of crazy independence because they know they can't depend on you for emotional care, right? You're actually rearing up more men to be cold in the world because you can't, because you haven't decided to do just the little things, right? And I think sometimes we make it really seem like it's really oh, he's just not really helpful with the kids and stuff like that, and it sounds so nice, but the truth is you are absenteeing on the
Yeah.
emotional aspect.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, I just need someone to tell him, and not the wife, because it won't sound any different when it comes from the wife. It needs to be someone from either judge or ish to say, hey, look, can I paint the real picture for you? You are absenteeing on your fatherhood. You paying the bills is good, you know. You making sure the family's good is good, okay, but you missing out on a whole other aspect of relationships that's essential. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? um I've been a young man before, and father doesn't come out to your football games, bro. That's painful. It's painful. You know what I mean? Uh, and you're right. Young men will try to impress their fathers, and they're gonna be struggling all their time trying to impress. And what happens is that just translates into how they deal with relationships. They're always in that space trying to impress. You know what I mean? And that comes out in different ways with men. We've got ego, we've got pride too. That can come out real toxic, really, really quickly.
Mhm.
So we he's not bad. He's just that he just needs to fix up on that aspect. And sometimes a little bit of a shock is helpful, because the brother missed the whole part. We help, 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 help. And even in his rap, if you heard it, it went back to him again. He's got a big problem. It's
Mhm.
bigger than just he not be hearing. He's got a big problem. He was
Yeah.
like, listen, I need you to help me, so I can go out and do these gigs again. Everything seems to revolve around him. So yeah, you wanting kids is probably not even about having kids. It's about you again.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? There is an inherent level of, I don't even want to say selfishness, a lack of awareness. Everything seems to be revolving around him. And I think it's too easy to say narcissist, because I think that's a very sharp word. I think
Yeah.
it just seems
I
like
don't think
everything
that's
just revolves around Noor. And he doesn't see
I,
how, you know what I mean?
yeah, being around recording artists and stuff, and that's the nature of look at me.
Mm,
It's about me or whatever. And I think that's just what it is now. He's been decades in the game or
mm,
whatever. So you get that you get that from people, especially vets in the game,
mm,
that the attention needs to be on them. Even some of them that push out other artists, for
mm,
some reason it still comes back to, but look at me.
mm,
So and I think it's just carrying over into his home life, because what I get from Nori is a workaholic.
mm,
So you have like those dad or corporates and stuff like that. They come home with they work and they are at the desk and and the kid is daddy, daddy, daddy. Okay, not right now, not right now. He's constantly pushing the kid away. And that's kind of what I get from Nori. It's just that he's gone at the studio, he's gone on set, he's gone somewhere else. He's just not in the house actively pushing them away.
mm.
But unless they're going to the studio or going to the gigs or going to the shows with him, it's not going to be much attention. So you have to be on his bandwagon to basically get his attention. And that's kind of what I get from him. So whatever he's experienced in his childhood,
That's
he
what's
covers
going on.
up through
Yeah.
his work.
Working hard. Yeah.
Hmm.
Validation.
Yeah, he can't seem to find the balance
Yeah.
between home life, work, family, whatever it is. He can't seem to find the balance. And I think a little bit of it, when he keeps saying he doesn't want her to go to the friends, I think it's just a little bit of resentment that he can't find himself to relax enough
Mm,
to go hang out with friends and family like that, unless it's a business move.
mm,
Unless it's about money being made on the table at that moment. Sometimes we lash out at our partners at the things that we can't do
mm.
that they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, because most men that's saying it's like, I'm affording this life for you to go and do it. He doesn't say that. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't want you to do it. So it's kind of like, pay attention to me in all your free time. And then, and when I'm not here, I still be here, paying attention to me. Like, it's like, what? If you're not here, let me go be with my
Do what I'm
friends.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're out doing you or whatever. So it's a weird resentment, and that's what I get. I get that that's where it really is. It's not the fact that she's hanging with her friends, going to these events and doing these things. It's just that he can't be in attendance.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those moments where I'm not the focus. Your friends is the focus. The party that you're going to is the focus. Everything else is the focus but me. And it's like, sir, once we started having kids, you were no longer the
The
focus.
focus.
And she's like, we already have 3. You want a 4th, and technically you are the 4th because you want as much attention as the kids want.
Why does he want more kids?
I only came up with one conclusion to try to stop her from going out to more parties. That's the only thing I could come up. But I was just like, she gonna have a new baby. Everybody gonna be like, come bring the baby. I don't know how this is gonna stop her. She's already learned how to deal with it.
Yeah. And he, it's not a dangerous situation yet, but this if he continues, this is one of those marriages that divorces when he's 50, 60. And you're like, why did they divorce? Because all the kids are grown, she can now leave.
And
You
Dr.
know what I
Ish
mean?
called it.
Yeah. He needs to get a hold of this relationship quick, because right now and that's why it becomes so devastating. And because we always, when you see people divorce maybe later on, you're like, wow, how come it happened like they're 25 years they're in and they divorced? A lot of times people are staying in a relationship because of the kids, and when the kids grow up and finally leave and they're grown, then the person can now leave. You know what I'm saying? Because what's been happening is they've been winging it. They've been winging it, and this is why you got to check in with your partner. But he's not conscious enough to check in with his partner because everything's about him. And that level of selfishness eventually will cause a rupture in that relationship. She can only take so much, right? But she's doing what she's doing right now because she wants to make sure the kids, are in a stable home, whatever. And, she might be thinking it's not that bad. Maybe it'll get better a little bit later on, all those kind of thoughts running through her mind. But I can guarantee that level of selfishness eventually is going to rupture the relationship.
And maybe that's what his game plan is, to try to hold on to her for another 18 years through another kid, but that doesn't always work.
That doesn't always
either.
work.
It don't always
because by the
work.
time you get that 4th kid, she might be like, do you know what? Don't need to be here. Yeah.
So we'll see. We will see. Hopefully, like I say, he has a little moment where he come down and he helps her clean up the kitchen, because her natural instincts just kick in about her cleaning up. So hopefully it carries on to home.
Yeah.
If he gets enough practice in these couple of weeks, it may continue when he get home. At least take your boys to their practices and their games and
basics,
stuff.
man.
Just at least do that. You ain't get. We understand you might not be able to make it to all of them, but a couple of them out the week, just promise to be on that. Put that in your schedule to be on that at least. At least I'm gonna give you the bare minimum. I'm giving you the bare minimum. Like, she might want more, but slowly start to show her that you can do more to even consider having another baby. Don't put that pressure on her like that. That's not fair. That is not fair at all.
I wonder how it was in the beginning of the relationship.
That's a good question.
Whether he's always been like this.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder.
He's screaming to me that he hasn't got the capacity at the moment to even give that emotional care, because he doesn't know what emotional care really is.
Yeah, because every time they bring it up to him, it's like this shock on his face. Like,
yeah, he doesn't know what they're talking about. It's like
what?
I'm doing my job. I wonder if she potentially in the beginning took maybe his kind gestures, maybe him spending money on her, taking her to trips. Because, that kind of stuff actually isn't emotional care. If I take you to Paris, or I take you on a trip somewhere, or I buy you clothes, or buy you, spend money on you, you know what I mean? Like, and tell you I love you, that's not really the deep emotional care. There's not much of a deep emotional work. A lot of guys can do that because that's very easy performative work. But if we're talking about deep, because we're now what, almost, I mean, they've been past a decade now. They've been married almost
Yeah.
together, right?
Yeah.
Almost a decade, right? And you are saying help, 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 and he can't hear that. That's not signifying the fact that he can't hear it now. That's signifying the fact that probably he never had the ear to hear in the first place. But we might have. I'm speculating. We might have been taking some of those actions that seem to be so large as actual emotional intimacies that this guy is doing. You know how sometimes we confuse sexual intimacy with actual intimacy and thinking this person really cares for me. I'm not saying he doesn't care for her. I'm saying whether he has the capacity to do the emotional work. If the brother won't even take his kids to games, this is signifying a much larger problem that probably was there way before, that he's probably been getting away with, but probably hasn't been seen up until now.
Yeah. Nori, prayers to you, brother. That's all I would say. Just get it together, because I hate to see a family broken up, especially you guys been together this long. You know, there's love there. I'm gonna say that there is definitely love there. I do see it in his face, even though he looks shocked when he's getting told things, that he's processing him. And so I think at this point right now, I think they got a good enough shot to walk away from this with some changed behavior and stuff. And maybe she just needs to be a little bit more affirmative and stuff. You know, if you had that next baby, just drop it on his lap, like, here, I'm gone. He has no choice.
I'm out of the house. Sorry.
Just leave. Just here's a baby. There's a pamper. There's a bottle. All right. See you in 2 hours. I'll be back. Sometimes you got to do that. Like, okay, you got it. Man. Woo. All right. Let's get into the thick of it. These two last couples. Okay. You know what? We had a lot with Amber and Sir Brock last week, so we're going really back to them right now, okay? Because these two are like peas in a pod to me. They spew out the same thing, even to the point almost the same balls were being thrown at each other. It's like one different one or whatever, but I don't know what it is with these two. Like, you guys don't want to be together, don't want to be apart, don't want to get it right, don't want to trust each other. Why? This is the only question I have for why. Why are you here? Because you have Amber on one end claiming that she doesn't care what the sexual preference of a person is or whatnot, long as they want her. The man has told you, I want you, I choose you. I am here with you in this moment. Right now, this is what I want. Now, granted, he has done what he's done in his past, and now past. You have supposedly done, we don't have no proof, but you supposedly done what you've done in your past or whatever to him. Yet you guys want to stay in this relationship and keep hurting each other instead of going separate ways, because clearly you're not healed for many past traumas that you put on each other. You want to keep trying to force each other to be what the other one wants. And it's just like, at this point, I can't even see y'all really being friends, because why would I want to be a friend with a person that just wants to keep hurting me from something I did or what I chose in my life? If you can't accept me for me, and that goes for both ends, just walk away. I understand there's history and all this stuff, but sometimes things have its season, and that's just it.
Sometimes things run its course.
Just walk away. And then when we get to what the balls were, and you both are sitting here screaming that you cheated on each other with a friend.
Woof, both of them. I said, woof. There is too much cheating going on with these people.
You both cheated with a friend, close friend to both of you. I'm like, is it the same friend?
That's what I'm saying. Is that, you know what I'm saying?
I just had questions, I just needed some answers. Y'all can call me and let me know. But yeah, I just, I'm kind of like, why are we here?
I
Other
asked the
than,
same question.
other than if we working on a friendship, why are we here? You got, she's ashamed of you.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dr. Ish says, and like we all feel, nobody wants to be with somebody that's ashamed of us.
Of course.
If you don't want to be seen out in public with me, you don't want to acknowledge that we're together. Why? Why are we here? And then why do you fight it every time he says, then maybe we should just walk away? But it's okay when you say
Hmm. It's a train wreck.
it. That's why they're a train wreck station. That's that
Train wreck.
room.
It's train wreck. Both of them are hanging on to a relationship that doesn't exist. Actually, interestingly, on this episode, he actually said that he's not going to let her go. He's not going to let her go.
Yeah.
And I said, so you ain't gonna let her go, and you feel like she's ashamed of you, and she's not gonna let you go because why? Because they are fearful of going their separate ways because they feel like they have emotional investment in this relationship. They've spent time and years together, and it's almost like, how can we break up? We spent that much time. But the truth of the matter is, you're just not working things out. There is so much damage that's been done from both parties. I mean, when they were throwing the balls at each other, the things that were coming out, you've cheated this, you've done this. She's cheated, and he's saying that she's cheated and hasn't admitted some of it, but he's mentioned that the fact he cheated with a friend. She was like, you cheated my friend. I said, so why are we hanging on to this relationship? And this much damage has been done. You know what I mean? And you're almost trying, you're almost holding on to something that, like I said, is dead, and it's like you're trying to hold on to this living memory of it and trying to say this is what our relationship is. Honestly, I don't think this is worth the time, if I'm honest. you
Mhm.
know and I think we're confusing. Are we trying to salvage a friendship? Are we trying to salvage a relationship? What are we trying to salvage here? I think we're also mixing up, what we're trying to salvage, and that comes from the
Mhm.
fact that both parties are really not in the best state possible to be able to make coherent decisions as to what they're trying to achieve here. She said, obviously, there won't be no more boot camps after this. He said he wanted another boot camp if it doesn't work out. I just think they're fearful of being alone. I think they're fearful of being alone. Do you know what I mean?
But it
Right.
doesn't seem like either one of them will naturally be alone. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It's just like, because I can get other men and stuff, and clearly he has the pickings of
mm,
the lot. So it's just like, you won't be alone.
yeah,
What is holding you two to each other to the point that you feel like you need to hold on to a relationship more so than a friendship?
yeah.
Just fix the friendship and be that, if possible. But
That's gonna be very hard.
I'm going to say it like I always say before, you both need time apart, away
That's what I was
from
gonna
each
say.
other, just completely away from each other, to where it's just a whole clean slate
Yeah,
between you two, and then start over. Hi, my name is. Hi, my name is. Nice to meet you. You want to hang out sometime?
yeah,
Just be a friend all over again. Learn to be a friend all over again. Because that's the best thing about the friends. When you're really a friend to somebody, you can have these arguments, you can have these back and forths, you can go through it, but at the end of the day, you miss your friend, and one of you at least will come to your senses and say, you know what, let me get my friend back, let me humble myself, let me go talk to my friend. Neither one of you guys can do that right now, because it's, you did this so many years ago and you did this so many years ago, so I got to get you back and you want to get me back, and it just keeps going back and forth, and it's just not healthy for anybody. You know, you're on a show where you don't want to claim them, but you're on a TV show which everybody's going to see you're on it, but you're ashamed of him, and you want to remind him how much you're ashamed of him. So you're torturing him for what? And you keep trying to hold on to her when you're not sure about where you want to be and what you want to do. You're torturing her for what? You guys are the worst friends ever. Ever. Like, I would never want to be your friends, to be honest with you, if this is how you treat your friends. Like, This is terrible.
The friendship is difficult because asking for a friendship when you're just coming out of a relationship is also very difficult to do. If not almost not recommended. You know what I mean? Like you said, you
Mm-mm.
need time apart. They need time apart, especially with the level of toxicity that's happened. You need time apart. You know what I mean? And when you guys are ready to, you come back again and maybe be friends. But I think they're trying to salvage a friendship now. But it's almost like, it's almost juvenile because it's like this is what you used to do when, when you're young and you break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend and it's like let's just be friends, and you're trying to stay friends. But I think when you grow a bit more mature, you realize, okay, maybe we need time apart to be able to be friends because
Mhm.
I understand feelings are still fresh, and always whenever there's a breakup, one person is suffering more than the other. So it's like that one person might be thinking about getting back with the other. So it really isn't oftentimes the best time to say let's be friends because that person has a different motive to what you have. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, yeah, throw the relationship in the bin, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Throw it in the bin.
I don't say just go your separate ways and see you both at this point, because you guys have been together since high school or whatever. I think you guys just
That's the
need
problem.
some years apart, because you guys are still in that mentality, like
Yeah,
you say, of being playing high school games. You know, in high school, the sad part is high schoolers will have an easier time of being friends after a breakup than you guys will. And that's really because you guys have been doing this off and on for so many years. And off and on generally just it creates this notion in your head that, even if we're off, we're going to get back together. And so what I'll say for that is take that little part right there and just put that into the trust that we can come back as friends and just go your separate ways. Don't have to come back tomorrow, next year, the year after that. Just trust that one day you both will be in a better place. And if you could pick up that phone and say, hey, I don't have no hard feelings towards you, I don't feel this way to you. And if you don't hear that resentment back when you pick up the phone, continue the conversation. But if you hear it back and say, oh, you're still there, okay, call you back later because you still need more time. One of you guys just keep coming back too soon. And that's the problem with this. Just just dead it,
mm,
you know.
I'm with you. I'm
just
with you.
just dead it. Like we're gonna dead this situation right now. We're gonna move on. This is how you move on. Let's show you.
Gotta say bye and get on to the next one.
Moving on to the next one. Moni Love and J Ball. I'm gonna go call him today.
Mm,
AKA Tough, because Mr. Tough wants to have his little tough skin going on.
mm.
And he's gonna make me use my word of the year, accountability. The lack thereof.
The lack thereof, even after 8 or 9 years,
Brother,
sis.
is he serious? The man is mad.
Madder than a Hatter.
He is dead wrong mad about this. Like, are you serious? When them balls got to flying and he's got to saying what the problem was, I said, oh, what?
The audacity.
Say it again.
The audacity.
Man, I wish I had that clip right now of Daria.
Oh yeah.
Ah!
Mm.
That one right there, because that is so needed for this brother right here. Are you serious? This dude said not letting him be the breadwinner. Understandable in some cases. Understandable. I'm not going to take that away because, generally how society is structured, men like to feel like the breadwinner. It's a thing. I can kind of get that one. But you
Mm.
walked into a relationship with an already successful woman. If you weren't already successful when you met her, my brother, I I don't know what to tell you.
Mm.
She's established. You should have came back later when you were established a bit more. What you want her to stop her whole life, her whole career, her everything, her livelihood, so you can feel like the man? Not allowing his career to take off.
Mm.
Oh, so you need permission for your career to take off.
Mm.
Allowing his actions for how his past actions, excuse me, meaning the cheating, stop them from how they make money. It was the wording for me on that one.
The audacity.
I said, "Oh, this guy here is something else. I don't know what it is in the water this year, but it's a lot of it going around where it's just, I'm not gonna say the N word, but it's a lot of it
It
going
was
in the
getting there.
atmosphere.
Mm.
It is definitely getting there.
Mm.
Because I'm just like, brother, you cheated while she was pregnant. Not once, not twice, not two, three, four, five, six, but at least somewhere around the higher digits,
Yes,
closer to the double digits.
Mm-hmm. Probably not, if not more.
At least what she found out about.
Yeah.
Before and after the pregnancy, on top of that.
Mm. Was you also blaming her for going into your thing to find it out as well?
They went to counseling for the first set of infidelities. Then you turned around and did it again. And like you said, you're blaming her for going through your phone. I'm sorry. I will be going through your phone. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I ain't been through somebody's phone that I didn't trust before, because we've already had the problem.
That's the point. That's the difference.
Was she going through the phone prior to it? I don't think so. Because the first time you said how she found out was the girl posted something. And that made her go investigate. It wasn't that she went through your phone and found stuff. So she was on a trusting path with you. You broke her trust. Now you're going to blame her for her trust being broken? That is the craziest thing to me. Like, how, Sway? How? I can't even fathom myself breaking somebody's trust and then be like, well, it's your fault. After the fact, I'm not even going to start at the beginning. It's your fault that you found out. I wish I could sit at somebody's face with a straight face and not have cameras rolling, talk about cut right after I say that.
It's the audacity for me.
Brother. And then wait, Coach, this is the best part where he said, if we had to end it right now, I would not be going home with her.
You're still been a failing rap career. Who will you blame then?
Well, not for him not going home with her. She made me choose on that show, and I couldn't choose her. So now my rap career really down in the gutter. Wow. So to me, you're giving me all the way F-boy vibes. It sounds like you got her pregnant to try to keep her on lock. And she was just supposed to be your financial bag no matter what. No matter if the investment was a bad investment, no matter if the deal was broken, you broke some confidential clause, you didn't sign the papers when you were supposed to sign the papers, she was supposed to be there. No matter what. Okay. All right. Next time, cheat with better people. At least cheat up. Should have went and found you a Queen Latifah or something, you know that. And I'm not even trying to compare to Queen Latifah, say Queen Latifah better, but
you need someone of equal measure, or someone who can help you upward movement. Yeah. Which means it wasn't about a business or anything like that. It was purely selfish, personal reasons as to why you cheated. He was
Uh,
looking for an excuse.
and it's the just get over it. I never understood that concept.
Yeah.
I do you dirty and you just need to get over it. I'll get over it, but you can't tell me when I should be over it.
Over it. Especially if you're not helping. Especially if you're not doing the right things in between that time to help mend the wounds. Technically, we actually haven't healed.
Especially if I try to get over it with your help
Mm.
and you broke the deal again.
Again.
So the first time I was getting over it, I was getting over it within a couple of months, maybe a year. You can't put a time limit on a second time.
Mm.
Once bitten, twice shy. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not about to get bitten again. For a third time? No. I just, without your help, without your real help, and the fact that you're mad that she's going through your phone, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big advocate of this. When you're rebuilding trust, it's hard to do it when you keep going through people's stuff.
Yeah.
It is very hard. But I do, because I have been that person, understand that need to just know if I'm still on the right path of trusting you again.
Mm-hmm.
She has to wink herself off of going through the phone, but you got to stop giving her reasons.
To keep going through it. Yeah, man. You know, yeah, when I watched it, I was like, yo, I was like, this brother is mad, bro. Like, you gaslighting for me, that was involved. If you want to see gaslighting, this is proper gaslighting. This is not the one, when people are saying they see things differently. This is not a see things differently. This is an actual gaslight, because he's actually then putting the blame on her. I mean, it started from the very first episode when he said, obviously, the reason why he cheated was because she was pregnant, couldn't give him what he wanted. I was like, sir, where's accountability? Where's the accountability to say, actually, do you know what? This may have been a reason, but there's no reason as to why. This is an excuse, right? This is a reason, but there's no excuse. That would have been an acceptable way of phrasing it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that I wasn't getting as much attention, blah blah. I know that's the reason why I did it. I know it's wrong. I didn't hear nothing of that he was wrong in that situation. He just said, I cheated because she didn't give me what I needed. So basically, you threw your toys out of pram because your wife had a kid, which you were the one who was responsible, not someone else's child. You are responsible, right? And then obviously that happens, and even that conversation when they're having on the table, she's trying to explain to you that, hey, look, during the course of that whole situation, the whole phone thing. If we're talking about what happens in cheating, this is this. If let me just say this for anybody who's watching this: if someone cheats on you, right, and they don't do the work to be open with you, because what happens is when someone cheats on you, it's actually trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's happened to you after that is that you become very hypersensitive to every movement that person now begins to make. That person who is in a relationship with you has a duty now to be transparent and to be honest. So if they're going somewhere, they have to let you know, hey, I'm going this place and I'm going to spend this X amount of hours. If I need to change the amount of hours, I'm going to call you or text you and tell you I need a few extra hours, right? Because I'm doing something, etc., etc. Now, they have to do that for a period of time, because what they have to do is rebuild the trust. You are no longer starting from zero. You are minus 100. You're trying to climb your way back up to some level of stability. That person has a duty to be open and transparent and vulnerable in the areas of the fact that how they're spending their time. Their phone password should be yours.
Mm-hmm.
This is me just being really honest, because when people start, what they do is they'll say, you just need to trust him or trust her. No, it doesn't work like that, because you've broken the trust. Okay, it doesn't. You don't just trust a person. It doesn't happen. It will never happen. You're asking for muscles that have been torn to suddenly just go, just reconnect. just reconnect and start working again. Ask anybody who can do that if their muscles can just tear and repair just right then. It takes time. We put it together and we have to let it begin to mend together and begin to heal. And in that process of time when that person's healing, there are things that we wouldn't ordinarily do in a relationship, which you're going to have to start doing for that time and season to rebuild the trust. One of them is like, for instance, your phone password. She should know it. Your social media passwords. She's going to have to know it. Now, she should be going through it. No, you don't want her to be going through it, but she may need to from time to time just to give herself some reassurance to go through it to make sure you're not doing what you were doing beforehand. Because remember, the person's now hypersensitive, and you shouldn't have an issue because now you're trying to rebuild that bridge, right? But you are now, rewarding her with going through her phone and catching you cheating by saying, "Well, if you hadn't gone through my phone, you wouldn't have seen all that." What? If you hear someone say that, I'm going to be honest with you, the relationship's done. You don't even have to waste time. Because that person, for them to even go into that space to think like that, to blame you for catching them cheating, that person has a very skewed way of seeing the world. And save yourself the trouble, run.
And I'm just going to interrupt you too,
Go
just a
for
little
it.
bit, because I want you to go back on your rant because I'm loving it. But that mixed with him saying his view of things that was supposed to happen was he didn't think about the cheating. He thought about getting caught or whatever.
Mm.
And then it was more so like, if I did get caught, it wasn't supposed to stop.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yes.
It wasn't really supposed to stop what me and you got going on, all the business deals and all this stuff like that. It's not supposed to stop you supporting me in my work. And it's just like, excuse me, I had to commend Moni when she was like, I'm supposed to continue to do what I'm doing. Like, I'm supposed to reward you. No, I can't take you back. And she's like, I took you back, but it's not going to be without consequence.
Yeah.
The consequence is I'm not about to back your future anymore like this. If you didn't want just me, you could have said that. And we could have been done and gone about our way, because it was supposed, like she said, it was supposed to be a fling. And at first, I cringed when she was saying that.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, okay, when it turned into something more now, and you're doing what you're doing and the way you're saying it, it's making it seem like where she had it was supposed to be a fling, you got her pregnant to trap her in hopes that she would continue to front your bill. My brother, go get a job. I'm talking directly to you, Jamal. Go get a job. You got a kid now, sir. Go get a job. Okay? I'm not going to even tell you how I feel about them bars that you spitted back. So go get a job. That's all I got to say. Like, just go get a job. She is not your financial support.
Yeah, your bank. Your bank.
And that is the mother of your child and supposedly your woman. And every woman wants to feel secure in their relationship. And I'm this type of person like this, and maybe she is too. Trust is earned. But when I first walk into a relationship with you, it's kind of like you got that automatically.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to break it.
Yeah.
Once you break it, usually I don't stay around. I've gotten better to try to work out some things with people as I gotten older, but the old me would have been like, all right, you broke it. Bye. You know what I'm saying? The me now is just like, okay, you got to learn how to work through some things on your end, because you can't just keep running from everybody that breaks your trust or whatever. But you got to earn it now. And earning it is now you're going to play by my rules, so to speak. And I'm not saying that I got to torture you or anything like that. It's just, it's a process now to get back in my good graces.
Yeah. Which is normal.
And if you don't like the process, by all means, please go. I'm not going to hold you here. I'm not going to force you through the process. But if I'm where you want to now be, you're just going to have to go through it. And I would tell you, just like Moni is going through it every so often, I might get over it for some months and it might just come up. and I might bring it up. Because if I'm still processing these things and I'm not fully healed,
Yeah.
the wound is still there. So at any moment I can trip and fall and bust it back open. It happens. But I'm working through my end of the process. Are you working through yours? Brother, you need to work through your process, because you got it. Oh, she took you back after all these times that she said you done did it to her. She took you back. You better be on your best behavior working through your process, my brother. She needs the phone. At this point, she needs your phone records, your bank statements. She needs access to everything. Beneficiary on all things and everything at this point, because brother,
you now need to prove that you're trustworthy.
Right. You have to at this point. And I'm not like I say, I'm a type of person, I have to wing myself off of certain things sometimes, because I just know I'm not going to trust you. And she's going to have to go through that process too, because it's going to be a never ending game if she keeps going through your phone. But you have to give her a reason to start trusting again. And like you said, you have to be okay with it. You can't fight it every time. If she's going through the phone, you can't have an attitude and trying to have somebody back you, especially somebody else that has their own infidelity going on. You talking to Sabrock and Amber about it. They over there fighting the same issues. What did you talk about?
They can't help you. They can't help you.
They can't help you at all. Your best bet is go to the married couple. They might not have been down through it, but they married, they share a lot more things. So they might be able to give you some better advice. But Amber gonna say the same thing Moni is agreeing with, and Sabrock, he gonna say the same thing you agree with. And that's the favorite line that I hear from guys a lot of time. I don't go through your stuff. Well, because I never gave you a reason to.
Yeah, of course he wouldn't go through it. He trusts her.
Yeah,
that's why he's not going through it, because he trusts her.
And if I don't give you a reason to, you not. And if I gave you a reason to, you wouldn't even be here. So let's be honest on these parts.
It's crazy.
Mad
indeed.
I was like, I need to put a white jacket on. I'm like, am I hearing this correctly?
Yeah, the situation is crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, because I was really sitting here like, okay, what are y'all really in here for? He cheated a little bit and stuff like that. But that mentality with the cheat, Moni, baby.
Get out of there, baby.
I would say co-parent at this point.
Yeah, because you're doing yourself damage.
Yeah.
I'd say co-parent as well.
You're a beautiful woman.
He's not going to see it.
Still got some good years on you. There's some brothers out here for you. Some ones that are not trying to have a rap career. Good, solid men out here, trust. I've been running into a lot, I will give up my co-host, but he got his little eyes set on a little something else right now. So we're gonna leave him alone. He on the yah right now. I ain't mad at it, yah fine.
Yeah, the customers.
She out here, she got her choosing right now. She ain't with somebody, so we gonna leave it alone.
Shout me, Yaya.
Oh shoot! Now I got all the men on my channel. Look, y'all just call me, and I'll just give you everybody information.
You know what I mean? Just that's all I'm saying.
He might flew you out. He ain't flying nobody out, but he might flew you out.
Yeah. You can get the fly out, man. Don't worry about that.
Get the fly. Oh, she don't even get flew. She get the whole fly out.
She get the whole fly out, not even fly. Shoot, I might fly over there. What are you on about? Ready to move for Yaya.
I'm so done. Girl, shoot. I'm about to get longer hair and darker skin.
Trust me, baby. If you do, baby, I'm gonna be there. Mm-hmm.
Let me stop.
It's all love, man. It's all love.
Oh, love. I do appreciate you being here. As always, tell the people where they can find you if they don't know already.
Yeah, guys, you can find me on Insta and YouTube. It's Little Black Book 91. That's little spelled properly. Little, guys. Little Black Book 91. And also as well, you can find me on TikTok, Mineral Gang or Black Muscle, whichever one comes up first. You can find me there as well. So yeah, just follow me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Appreciate you
TikToks
guys.
are lit.
What a dance
Got
for
some
the
moves,
world.
lady. Got some moves.
Mm-hmm.
As always, you guys follow us, me and Sean. You know, our channels is here. Mine's is on Instagram is the Sexy Tomboy. Sean is also Sean Davis 120 on Instagram. And his page is up and running. So now you guys have no trouble finding him. It's Sean Unfiltered. Y'all type it
Yep.
in, all caps on Unfiltered. Y'all find him. It'll come up. He has an interview already posted up there.
Yep.
So check him out, and as always, you guys can find us on Little Black Book on Saturdays and throughout the week. And, Maria's S channel, you find us over there from time to time too. So thank you guys for following. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll be here again next week for you guys. And as always, stay blessed, love, and peace.